He has the memory doesn't really last very long for dogs, I think. So it's okay. All right, anyway, let's move on from that. All right, so lastly, we're gonna do a draft analysis segment, and so I guess Bacon's pulling it up. But for those of you who are listening for the first time, how this works is that we tell you the map as well as the team for either the 5-man team for either the allies or the opponents, and then we tell you the 4-man. But then we tell you then you have to figure out what the last pick should be, and we will describe what the pick should be from each of our respective play levels. So this week we have Towers of Doom, and the opponents have Gazlo, Genji, Li Ming, Uther, and Murden. So again, Gazlo, Genji, Li Ming, Uther, and Murden. And the allies have Varian, Brightwing, Greymane, Arthas. So Varian, Brightwing, Greymane, Arthas. So where are you guys going here for your last pick?
I would just like to say this is a low-level game draft, right?
It is.
Well,
It is
there's
not.
Gazlo.
There's
not
that Gazlo plus Genji plus Li Ming. That's like the first 3 picks in a silver game where everyone wants to play some sort of DPS.
This is actually a mid to high level game, actually.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Is this I think what Grizzly was saying was that there's this one guy whose handle is Gazlo and he only plays Gazlo and he's Grandmaster 64 or something.
Grizzly, and he was in Team League we faced him, and he was a Grandmaster named Gazlo. Picked Gazlo, had the Gazlo portrait. I don't know if he played any other heroes.
And he was a pretty good Gazlo though, right?
Yeah, he was pretty solid.
He's directing all the turrets with the focus fire.
Okay, so I'll go first on this. I'm pretty sure you want a double support here because they're showing Li Ming Genji. That's all the DPS. So once you get the first kill, you snowball downward from there. So you need to play in a solo support Brightwing. Won't keep you up. We don't even have defense to survive that. So I would say someone like Lucio.
You don't have a lot of damage though if you do that.
Yeah, but remember they have really bad sustained damage. They're all burst damage. So if you can just break it down during the Dragon Blade, no one's gonna die.
Oh, I see what you mean because I think Uther is going to de-shield Genji.
Yes.
He's going to go crazy on everybody.
As much as I hate to say it, I agree with Hero Physio in chat saying Medivh. But let's assume since Medivh is such a niche pick, right, that he's off the table. Because it's very rare.
Well, explain the Medivh pick then. Explain
why is Medivh good? Yeah.
Well, because he has shields and portals.
Okay, so he gives shields on
the fucking bird.
Okay.
He's a fucking bird. This team needs a bird. I mean, they have a fairy, a death knight, a werewolf. They need a bird.
Yeah, it's like Captain Planet. You need to have one of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Medivh really does help in the poke and sustain of the team fights. And if you can get Uther low, then that's the rest of the game. Yeah, like.
So since Hero Physio is a coach for LFM Esports, at the HEC level, you should go Medivh here. So for those of you who play in the open division, there you go. You learn something.
If you play in the open division, you see this exact goddamn draft.
Yeah.
It could happen.
If you see a Gazlo in any circumstance, you're never going to see a Gazlo picked in...
Hey, Hero Physio chooses Gazlo.
Not in professional.
He doesn't play in the HGC, though.
Yeah, but he does it to
He also plays Pubius. Like, his word doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a push bot strat for one game.
Yeah.
All right. So my answer is I think Tyrael is the way to go. And Tyrael, because Brightwing doesn't have a lot of heals, so the Tyrael shields will help with the healing or the lack of healing from Brightwing, and also it will provide the ability for the Greymane to go ham, and for the Variant to go ham too, and it will help stop the blow up from Genji and Li Ming.
You're saying Smash variant?
Well, I'm assuming that it's the silver game and it will be Smash variant. Yes.
I can dig it.
You could also go. Actually, you could also go Judgment if it's a low level game because you can just because the Gazlo will be off by himself. And if you go Judgment, you can just blow him.
Gazlo's the solo laner. He's bottom
Smash
lane, right?
with Greymane coronation. Like Li Ming's going down, Gazlo's going down, unless there's like a clutch D shield.
Yeah. So I don't know. My pick is Judgment. Is Tyrael with either ultimate would work here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well,
if you wanted to step it up to a Masters or Grandmaster level coordination, Brightwing could go like Greater Polymorph or the longer Polymorph. I think that's what it's called. And during Uther's Polymorph duration, then you can Colossus Smash, Greymane Dive, and like Judgment onto one target, so he can't get the Divine Shield off. But that's asking a lot.
That's not happening in silver or gold. But that's a good idea though, for sure. But what about like another damage dealer?
Yeah, I was thinking more of a Hanzo because their comp is kind of weird because Gazlo's more of a like hold the point stall character, but the rest of their team is looking very kind of divey with for sure I think you're gonna go Genji D shields with Uther, and then Uther himself isn't really a good sustained healer, so they want the team fights to be over quickly. So it seems like if you can kind of stall out the team fights, like Old Backpack said, with the second healer, or have a good ranged hero to kind of get them low enough so they're not able to dive as hard, I think a Hanzo or some other longer range DPS, or maybe even a Raynor too. That's what I say. The Gazlo pick throws me off because I'm not really sure how he fits into the rest of the enemy team. So I think
he doesn't fit.
Yeah,
he doesn't exactly.
So it looks like there's not that big of a threat from the enemy team, personally.
Well, you got to make sure to not die. If the enemy team gets one kill, you probably are gonna have at least 3 deaths on your team.
Yep. All right. So wait. For in chat, Sinful Sloths, I think that could be Loxley, or it could be Loxley's wife. I don't know anymore. But anyway, he says Nubarak is good, and San says Chromie is the way to go, and Sleepy Gary, I assume that's Sleepy Gary.
Yeah, Sleepy Gary
he says that Tassadar is the way to go. So they're all 3 different options here.
Well, I don't know about the Nubarak though, because he's kind of divey, and then I'm assuming Gazlo's gonna have his turret set up, and diving into them like that, I think is not gonna be like that smart. I think the weakness of Uther.
I don't like Chromie too much.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Chromie. I do like the Tassadar.
Tassadar.
I think that was gonna be my pick. I was initially thinking the Lucio for a double support, but it's not just about the team fight. You need somebody to lane against Gazlo when he's probably pushing top early game. So you need somebody who could keep up with the wave clear and not just have your shit get pushed in.
The biggest issue.
Well, no, I don't think that's an issue because you have Brightwing who can warp in. I think.
Yeah. The biggest issue is
to do what?
To help push out Gazlo, if necessary. Like I think Greymane can kind of solo lane, or Arthas can solo lane pretty well. I don't think it's that big of an advantage that Gazlo has over either of those two. Nothing that like Brightwing helping out couldn't push back.
Well, all right. So in Discord, Hero Physics said yesterday, think of when trying to think of a team composition, think of wave clear, the lane matchups, the survivability, and the kill potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to that effect, the allied team is ineffective until level 10 because of the variant pick. Mm-hmm. And you're definitely gonna be eating a couple of shots in the early game until you're level 10. I'm assuming you're not really gonna be focusing on team fights until level 10. Try to soak as much as possible, and try not to be too behind. And luckily, it's Towers of Doom, so you're not eating forts or keeps. You can always take those back. But
I think that you need a laner to stop Gazlo, right? Because I think Space Monkey in Discord said that you can't just because right now the team doesn't have any wave clear to stop the Gazlo, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about like a minute ago.
Yeah, so I think Tassadar could be the way to go here, actually.
Yeah,
Arthas has some wave clear.
But versus
he's going to get
it's
worn
hard.
out. He's going to lose that lane. The Tassadar throws down two psionic storms or whatever, and the waves cleared.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you could go Leoric.
But then you're going to get focused by the turrets, and you're going to lose that slowly.
Yeah.
That was kind
so
of.
you're saying to go Leoric, huh?
Losing slowly, my favorite.
The Tower Baron special.
Yeah. So actually, I think I still like the Tyrael at the lower levels, just for the sheer blow up with Judgment.
Yeah, Tyrael's decent, but your wave clear is going to be terrible. The variant really kind of puts you in a hole there. Blaze with Bunker as a defensive, that could be pretty sweet.
And he'll match up against Gazlo decently because of his wave clear.
Yeah.
It stops.
Yeah, he could compete with Gazlo.
He also provides the Bunker for protection from the resets. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Blaze is good. So is Tassadar as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so this was a Bacon game, I think. I could be wrong.
Bacon game. Mid to high level.
Oh. Yeah, it's Bacon game.
Okay. All right.
So,
is this a real game with Gazlo?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
That's why I chose it. Because, a Gazlo doesn't exist, in pro play, but Gazlo exists everywhere else. So I wanted to do a Gazlo comp.
So you had ulterior motives with this pick.
No, this is actually can help a lot of people. This is because you'll never see a Gazlo ever in HEC, right? So you really don't know how to counter him or think about him, but now you can because we did a draft analysis. So
as far as the map is concerned, is that going to play a big part on any of the picks, really, or is it just the deficiencies in the comp are too obvious that the map, the map peculiarities don't have that big of a factor?
I think Towers of Doom is probably one of Gazlo's best maps because you don't have to siege that far away from your own base, your own side of the map. So. So I think it does matter. I think this comp wouldn't work nearly as well on Cursed Hollow, for example, or even Sky Temple. So I think the map does matter a little bit for this.
Is this French girl Robo Goblin?
No.
I'm just joking.
If I'm playing on the Gazlo, I'm going for the Gravel Bomb to help set up the kills for the Genji and the Li Ming. But I'm sure in Silver 5 they're going Robo Goblin. I guarantee it.
So what happened?
Yeah, who's the final pick?
So the final pick was Lunara.
Lunara,
that could be decent.
Well, the thing is that Lunara, Uther can't heal all the damage, right, from Lunara. Yeah. I'm sure that's what the person thought when they drafted Lunara.
Yeah.
But
her range is not.
Who won? Yeah, she's not safe enough.
Not safe enough, I think.
The Gazlo team won.
Yeah.
Lunara is a little too squishy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The range isn't there. That's why I say Hanzo.
Like one Li Ming orb and she's dead.
Did you actually watch that match, or you just picked out of Bacon's match history?
Well, the thing is that you can't watch someone playing when they're live in HOTS, unfortunately. So I just go through what I do. What I do is I go through all the win timers, and I just look through all their drafts and see which one looks cool, and then
Wait, do you have at least stats on the game afterwards? How'd the Gazlo do?
I don't know. I don't really look that far. Maybe in the future I'll look into it more to see what the stats were. But
yeah, I want to know how this Gazlo comp that looks terrible ended up winning.
Yeah, the Lunara wasn't necessarily last pick though, was it?
No, it was not.
Yeah. What was the last pick? I mean, I guess you don't know because
I wasn't in the draft, so I can't tell you.
Stop asking him questions. He doesn't know.
Yeah. You should ask Bacon. He's the
I
one.
bet you Gazlo was the last pick.
I don't know.
On their team, Gazlo was probably the last pick.
But anyway,